All right, we're going to talk about Proverbs 6. So if we can get that first slide up, guys. So Proverbs basically, we got 31 of them, one for each day of the month, basically. Proverbs, there's a bunch of people that contributed to it. Most of it's Solomon. And as I was reading through it, one of the things that I was impressed with a couple of weeks ago is when it said things, it's not red letter saying things. Red letter means like Jesus said it, or it's a God statement. It's from Solomon or Hezekiah or other wise people, and it's wise, but I was really strict this week. Remember that God gave us the Big Ten, okay? And Solomon and everybody else were subject to God's Big Ten. And what they're elucidating on and expanding on is these 10, okay? And the rabbis over the generations have come up with thousands and thousands of subsets of these. But if God thought we needed thousands and thousands of subsets, he would have given us a thicker version, okay? He made 10, okay? If you remember, Moses came down, he was mad, he broke the tablets. God didn't say, hey, you know what? On version 1.1, I'm going to add some more. He did the same 10, okay? So I want to go back and just kind of look at God's rules, okay, and start that way. So number 1, you have no other gods before me. 2, you shall not make idols. And this is the condensed version, okay? When you read the word, it has some other things that go with it. You shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain. Isn't it funny that in movies and stuff, even totally horrible movies that have nothing to do with God, when something happens, they use Jesus' name or God's name or something like that. And the whole time they've been, totally blasphemous. And that happens on purpose because there's power in the name, okay? 4, remember the Sabbath day, keep it holy. 5, honor your father and your mother. Number 6, you shall not murder. 7, you shall not commit adultery. 8, you shall not steal. 9, you shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. And 10, you shall not covet. And covet is like being jealous and wanting what somebody else has. Okay, next one, guys. Got the next slide, guys? Oh. There we go. Okay, so this is just really quick. This is how Proverbs breaks down, and I just wanted to show that Solomon's Proverbs, the ones we know definitely relate back to him, are chapters 1 through 9, so we're in chapter 6. So that's the section that we're in. We're still in that section that we know those definitely relate back to Solomon and things that he talked about. Okay, next one, please. Okay, historical timeline. This is kind of what was going on. Solomon's era, 10th century. Hezekiah did a whole bunch more in the 8th century. And the final version that we see was basically completed in the 7th century, about 686 BC. Next one. Okay, so the key themes for Proverbs 6. He cautions against debt. He talks about diligence. He talks about 7 things that God hates. That's kind of important, okay, to know what God hates so that we don't do that, okay? And then heed parental advice, okay, and we'll get into that as we go. So the next one, please. Okay, so now we're going to read through it, and then we'll talk about it afterwards. Okay, so verses 1 through 4, it says, my child, if you have put up security for a friend's debt or agreed to guarantee the debt of a stranger, if you have trapped yourself into an agreement and are caught by what you said, follow my advice and save yourself. For you have placed yourself at your friend's mercy. Now swallow your pride and go and beg to have your name erased. Don't put it off, do it now. Don't rest until you do. Okay, next one. Okay, verses 5 through 9. Save yourself like a gazelle escaping from a hunter, like a bird fleeing from a net. Take a lesson from the ants, you lazy bones. Learn from their ways and become wise. Though they have no prince or governor or ruler to make them work, They labor hard all summer, gathering food for the winter. But you, lazy bones, how long will you sleep? When will you wake up? Next one. Okay, 10 through 14. A little extra sleep, a little more slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest. Then poverty will pounce on you like a bandit. Scarcity will attack you like an armed robber. What are worthless and wicked people like? They are constant liars, signaling their deceit with a wink of an eye, a nudge of the foot, or a wiggle of the fingers. Their perverted hearts plot evil, and they constantly stir up trouble. Next. 15 through 18. But they will be destroyed suddenly, broken in an instant beyond all hope of healing. There are 6 things the Lord hates. No, 7 things he detests. Haughty eyes, a lying tongue, hands that kill the innocent, a heart that plots evil, feet that race to do wrong. Next one. Okay, 19 through 22. A false witness who pours out lies, a person who sows discord in a family. My son, obey your father's commands and don't neglect your mother's instruction. Keep their words always in your heart. Tie them around your neck. When you walk, their counsel will lead you. When you sleep, they will protect you. When you wake up, they will advise you. Next. Okay, 23 through 26. For their command is a lamp and their instruction a light. Their corrective discipline is the way to life. It will keep you from the immoral woman, from the smooth tongue of a promiscuous woman. Don't lust for her beauty. Don't let her coy glances seduce you. For a prostitute will bring you to poverty, but sleeping with another man's wife will cost you your life. Next one. Okay, 27 through 30. Can a man scoop a flame into his lap and not have his clothes catch on fire? Can he walk on hot coals and not blister his feet? So it is with the man who sleeps with another man's wife. He who embraces her will not go unpunished. Excuses might be found for a thief who steals because he is starving. Next one. Okay, 31 through 35. But if he is caught, he must pay back 7 times what he stole, even if he has to sell everything in his house. But the man who commits adultery is an utter fool, for he destroys himself. He will be wounded and disgraced. His shame will never be erased. For the woman's jealous husband will be furious, and he will show no mercy when he takes revenge. He will accept no compensation, nor be satisfied with a payoff of any size. Okay, next one. Okay, and I just want to show here, that was out of the New Living Translation. You know how I've shown you guys the Message, and we've looked at a couple ones, the ESV. This is the New Living Translation. There's the copyrights through Tinsdale House, and it's used with them, all rights reserved, but they put that out on the internet, that we're able to use it. So we thank them for that. Okay, next slide. Okay, 7 things that God hates. This is kind of important to know. And it says in the word that we just read, 6 things God hates, no, 7 that he detests. Okay, so these aren't things that, maybe, you know, well, I didn't really mean it. These are things that God hates. So it's hard to do these and then say, oh, God, can you bless me? Can you help my business? Can you keep me safe? Can you get me over this cold? If you're doing things he detests, okay? So haughtiness, and I put definitions up here because not many people, haughtiness is not a word we use in our vocabulary very much anymore. But haughtiness is the quality of being arrogantly proud or disdainful, often showing a sense of superiority over others. It implies a contemptuous attitude towards those perceived as inferior. Okay, the solution, stay humble. And Ezekiel talks about that. So your homework is to take this down and figure out why that Ezekiel scripture relates to that, okay? Number 2 is lying. The act of making a false statement, typically with the intention of deceiving, misleading, or being hurtful. So the solution to that is in Matthew 5:27, okay? Next one. Okay, third, murder. The crime of unlawfully and unjustly killing a person. The solution is obey laws. Okay, we're not supposed to do that. There is special qualifications in there about war. You are allowed to kill in war when it's a just war and you're doing what you're ordered to do. Okay? Plotting evil. To plan or contrive a scheme that promotes evil. Okay, and the solution is to be a servant of all, and that's in Thessalonians 5:11. Okay, eagerness to do wrong. Ooh, that rolled on us a little bit. Let me see. The state of wanting to do or have something very much, often characterized by enthusiasm and a strong desire. So you can have an eagerness to do bad, to do evil, or an evilness, or an eagerness to do good. God's saying when you are eager, when you're antsy about doing bad, okay, that's what you don't want. And if you think about what we've already read in Proverbs about people lying in wait to rob someone and beat them, that's the kind of thing he's talking about, okay? And the solution is to do right, okay, do what God says. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, false witness. Definition, one who purposely provides erroneous oral or written testimony as evidence about hearing, seeing, or otherwise knowing about an incident. The solution is to be truthful. Tell the truth. Let your yes be yes and your no be no. Okay, that's simple. And then sowing discord. The definition, propagating disagreement or disharmony between people's ideas, things, often resulting in conflict or strife. And then the solution is to spread or sow unity. Okay, and that's found in, there's a couple of them. Psalms 133, verse 1 was one I liked. Okay, next one, please. That's it? Okay, perfect. All right. So, one of the things that I really just wanted to show in this is that what we've studied 6 of the chapters of Proverbs, and they keep repeating things. And you go, okay, why would God do that? I kind of got it the first time. Okay, well, the precedent when you study the word is, if it's said twice, it means, hey, pay attention. If it's mentioned 3 times, it's, hey, maybe you need to write this down somewhere, post it on your mirror, or have it in the front of your Bible in a note or something. So when things are mentioned, we're only in chapter 6, and some of these things have been mentioned multiple times per chapter and mentioned in every single chapter. That's like God saying through His inspired word, hey, are you getting this? Do you understand how important it is? This is a non-negotiable. This is something you have to do. It's a foundation upon which God and you can build the rest of your life. So when it talks about obeying laws and having discipline in your life and listening to authorities, whether it be your parents or your mentors or the law authorities, okay, it's not up for debate. It's something that we have to do. So Proverbs 6 goes through that. Again, it talks about the whole adultery thing, okay? And there's no way around that either. If you're doing it wrong, it's adultery. And people say, well, I'm lonely. Don't I have a right to be happy? You have a right to be happy, not that way. Lots of other ways to be happy, okay? Because when you do adultery, you not only defile yourself, because it says that a man and woman will become one flesh. So when you do that, you're defiling yourself, you're defiling her, you're defiling all of her family and your family. So if anybody's married, got boyfriends, girlfriends, exes, everything else, it defiles the children. The children get involved, the families, the in-laws, the outlaws, everybody else is involved, the community. If you've ever been through a divorce or had a friend go through it, I mean, they jokingly say, I got the dog, but he got the car, and or I got these friends, but he got those friends, because it's hard for even friends to stay when people have a divorce. They have to kind of pick one side or the other to go with going forward. So when you think about, oh, it's just a little tryst, okay? You know, my wife and I have grown apart, but we want to stay together for the kids, or she has a health issue and I don't want to cause her any extra stress. Those are all total BS lies, okay, that you're saying to yourself. Absolutely, okay? The reality is you promised before God, before her, before the priest, before the church, before wherever else, whoever was around, that you would stay together. Okay, so you can't go out and violate that. Now, so what happens if you're on the opposite side, the innocent side of adultery, and for some reason it broke your relationship? What does that do to you? Okay, you are not at fault, but guess what? You get pulled into that mess, okay, and you have to extricate yourself from it, okay? Mary Lou and I know lots of gals that say, oh, but he's separated and they're trying to get a divorce and there's just problems with the paper. Really, how long has that been going on? Oh, 9 years, okay? In 9 years, he ain't leaving her, okay? There's something, okay? And you know, the reality is in today's world, people stay together just so they don't have to give up half their stuff, okay? And they think they can live their own lives, okay? If you want to be blessed before God, you have to live a blessed life. You have to do the things he said, okay? And sometimes that means doing things that are a little tough, okay? But we got to get through it. The other thing is, while you stay tied up with somebody else, you cannot really find the right next person if God has somebody else for you, okay? But I would urge people to go back. I know people who have been in situations and they went under counseling, they started dating each other, and they're back and their relationship is great. I'm not saying that happens with everybody, okay, but it is possible. You just don't get mad and walk away. In today's world, a lot of people just go, yeah, we were married a couple of years, that's good. Now he'll go find somebody else and I'll find somebody else. You go, wow, okay. Why'd you guys get married? Well, we didn't want to live in sin. Oh, really? Okay, what are you doing now? You know, so it's tough, right? Life is tough, okay? And if you've been involved in that way of cheating one way or another, or you've lost your spouse, it's tough. Mary Lou says, well, what would you do if I died? I wouldn't date. Are you kidding me? Can you imagine that? Oh, what's your favorite color? Do you like dogs or cats? I mean, come on. I mean, you know, that's something you can do when you're 17. It's not something you do when you're 70. It's just very different, right? I'll go do missionary trips instead. Anyway, so this is chapter 6. We have another couple, and then it kind of changes in tone. This one changed a little bit from what we had the first 5 chapters. This is the transition as we go past. So we caught up on time. We're where we're supposed to be, and I want to pray and call a hard stop on it, okay? So there's prayer requests up here if people need it. Those are prayed over confidentially by the pastors. They are prayed for every day, not just once and put in a box or something. They are prayed for. Nobody ever hears about it. We don't share it with anybody else. We've got that. You can also come up and get individual prayer if you want as well. So let's just close in prayer.